students, what is an atom? An atom is the smallest particle of a chemical element that can exist. Second, it cannot exist independently. What does it mean? It means that you will never find a hydrogen atom in the atmosphere. It will always combine with another hydrogen atom to form hydrogen molecule. So you will get hydrogen molecule in the atmosphere but not a hydrogen atom. Only the inert gases which do not react at all can exist independently. Now all atoms of an element are alike. For example, all atoms of the element hydrogen are same as shown in the diagram. It has one electron that is revolving in the orbits and it has one proton. Now students, what is molecule? Molecule is the smallest unit consisting of a group of atoms into which an element or compound can be divided without any change in its chemical nature. I repeat, it is the smallest unit consisting of a group of atoms into which an element or compound can be divided without a change in the chemical nature. Now, a molecule can exist independently. You can see a hydrogen molecule existing independently. You can see a water molecule which can exist independently. It consists of one or more than one atoms of the same element. For example, hydrogen molecule, it consists of the atoms of the same element, that is hydrogen, or a combination of elements. You can see the water molecule. It is formed by a combination of which atoms? Two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Now here you can see atoms of different elements. Now an atom of hydrogen combines with another atom of hydrogen to form a molecule of hydrogen. Similarly, an atom of oxygen combines with another atom of oxygen to form a molecule of oxygen, which is denoted by O2. Now, what are radicals? A group of atoms that function as a single unit, like molecules. Molecule is also a group of atoms that function as a single unit, but these carry a charge. So a molecule which is carrying a charge can be called as radical. So it is a group of atoms that function as a single unit and carries a charge is called a radical. They are also known as polyatomic ions. Here you can see how a radical is formed. Here there are two molecules of water. In the first molecule, in both the molecules, there are two atoms of hydrogen, small grey ones, and one atom of oxygen. Now from the first molecule, if I add a hydrogen atom, then there will be three hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom, and it will carry a positive charge since a hydrogen atom carries a positive charge. So from H2O it becomes H3O plus. In the second molecule, one hydrogen has already gone. So we have got only O and H. Here we get a negative charge because one positive charge is less. One hydrogen has already gone taking the positive charge. So here we have one negative charge. So by combining two water molecules we get two radicals. One is H3O plus, wherein there is one more hydrogen, and another is OH minus. Okay. H3O plus is known as hydronium ion and OH is known as hydroxyl ion. Now we'll see the difference between atoms, molecules and radicals. Here we have already studied that atom can not exist independently, whereas molecules can exist independently. Similarly, radicals also cannot exist independently like atoms. Next, atoms may or may not react. See, if we get inert atoms, it will not react. The other atoms can react. Whereas molecules are very much stable. It is already formed by reaction of something. So now they are stable. Whereas the radical are highly reactive because they carry charge. So they want to become neutral. So they will either lose electrons or they gain electrons. So atom may or may not react. Molecule is always stable, whereas radical is highly reactive. Next difference, atom has no linkage because atom is a single unit. It is not combining with anything, whereas molecule is formed by either sharing or transferring of electrons. And radicals are mainly formed by sharing of electrons. Therefore, they form covalent bond by sharing of electrons. Next difference, atom is a single atom and therefore it cannot be divided further, whereas a molecule can be further broken up into atoms. A radical can also be further broken into atoms because it is also a group of atoms. Next, atom, as you know, are electrically neutral. There is no charge. In molecule also there is no charge, whereas radical carries either a positive or a negative charge. Now students, comes the question, what is valency? There can be many definitions of valency. The basic definition is the combining capacity of an element. One element can combine with how many elements? The capacity that it has for combination is known as valency. So the simple definition is the combining capacity of an element is known as valency. The next definition is maximum number of univalent atoms. What is univalent atoms? Atoms having one valency. The maximum number of atoms which are having one valency that may combine with an atom of the element or replaced by an atom of the element is called valency. So whenever we take any element, that element is reacting with how many univalent atoms is known as its valency. Third, the number of charge that a radical carries is also known as valency. Whatever the charge a radical carries, that charge is the valency of that radical. What is the significance of valency? Why do we need valencies? See students, valency helps significantly in the derivation of chemical formula of the compounds. If you don't know the valency of a particular element, you will not be able to form the compound. You will not be able to form the formula of that compound. So valency help in the derivation of chemical formula of the compounds. Now how will you determine valency based on hydrogen atom? Now students, for any compound which is having hydrogen in it, for example HCl, it is having one hydrogen and one chlorine atom. So to find the valency of chlorine atom, we will see with how many hydrogen it has reacted. So here in the first example, one chlorine atom is reacted with one hydrogen. So the valency of chlorine is 1. Similarly in NH3, okay, the nitrogen has combined with how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogen. So the valency of nitrogen is 3. So students, for elements that combine with hydrogen to form compounds, the valency is equal to number of hydrogen atoms in that compound. What is a periodic table? A periodic table is an arrangement of elements. Now these arrangement of elements is based on what? It is based on increasing atomic numbers. Now let's see what are the characteristics of periodic table. Here the basis of classification is atomic number. We place the elements according to increasing atomic number. How many elements are there in a periodic table? 118 known elements. Then how many vertical columns are there? There are 18 vertical columns and 7 horizontal rows. Now in a group, all elements within a group have the same number of valence electrons. For example, group 1 elements will have valency 1, group 2 elements have valency 2, group 3 elements have valency 3 and so on. Inside of an atom, if we peep inside of an atom, there will be a nucleus and a shell, energy shell. Okay, now in the nucleus we have protons and neutrons, and they are together known as nucleons. Now in the energy shell is an imaginary orbit, is an imaginary path around the nucleus where the electrons revolve. So in that path we will have electrons that will keep on revolving. Now what is atomic number? Atomic number is equal to number of protons in the nucleus of the atom. It is also denoted by the symbol Z. What is mass number? Mass number is the addition, sum of number of protons and number of neutrons. This is denoted by capital A.
Beginning of modern industries. The process of industrialization started in India from the mid-19th century. The beginning of modern industry is associated with the development in mainly plantations like jute, cotton, and also steel. The accelerated industrialization began with the development of railways and roadways. The two world wars gave an impetus to the development of number of industries such as chemical, iron and steel, sugar, cement, glass, and other consumer goods. Plantation industry. The plantation industry was the first to attract the Europeans. The Assam Tea Company was founded in 1839. Coffee plantations also started simultaneously. As the tea plantation was the most important industry of Eastern India, coffee plantations became the center of activity in South India. The third important plantation which gave birth to factories was jute. Machine-based industry. In India, modern industrial sector in an organized form started with the establishment of cotton textile industry in Bombay in 1854. In 1855, jute industry was started in the Hooghly Valley at Risra near Calcutta. The first paper mill was started in Baligan near Calcutta in 1870. The cotton mills were dominated by Indian enterprises and the jute mills were owned by the British capitalists. Cotton mills were opened in Bombay and Ahmedabad and jute mills proliferated on the Hooghly River bank. The woolen and leather factories became prominent in Kanpur. Heavy industries. The heavy industries included the iron and steel industry. Steel was first manufactured by modern methods at full peak in 1874. Iron and steel industries began rooted in the Indian soil in the beginning of 20th century. However, the credit for the development of large-scale manufacturing of steel in India goes to Jamshedji Tata. The Tata Iron and Steel Company, TISCO, was set up in 1907 at Jamshedpur. It started producing pig iron in 1911 and steel ingots in 1912. Industrial growth in India. To realize the dream of development of industry, Indian government adopted certain industrial policies and 5-year plans. One of the most important innovations in the industrial field after independence has been the introduction of the 5-year plans and the direct participation in industry by the government as expressed in the Industrial Policy Resolution of 1948.